own opportunities to enact our change. We will become the doctors, the teachers, and the preachers that were the change makers in our lives, that helped us blossom and thrive. This stage in our lives marks a transition from passive voices to active participation in societal change. And just as we have been changed, we will change our communities. As we part ways tonight, my hope for myself and each of my fellow graduates is that we would find ways to be change makers in whatever community we end up in. May we carry the memories of our time here in our hearts as we go out to find our own success and happiness. Thank you, and go Tigers.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the valedictorian of the class of 2021, Miss Simran Pockrell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the class of 2021's graduation. I'm truly honored to stand here before you and speak on behalf of one of the most accomplished, talented, intelligent, athletic, and resilient class that has ever graduated in Pleasant Grove history. I would be more humble about it, but in the words of Coach Allen, never apologize for domination. There are so many memories and moments that come to mind as I look back on my journey through high school. The ringing of the cowbells during every football game, the taste of donuts from the Donut Cafe drive-thru, shout out Cadence, and the thumping of our Chromebook satchels as we walk through the halls. Each year played a vital role in shaping us into the people we are today. As freshmen, we entered the school as blank slates. Bright-eyed and curious, we were exposed to numerous opportunities that would define who we were for the next 4 years. We joined different clubs and organizations and excelled in every field. I don't know if y'all heard, but we kind of won state that year. Sophomore year, we learned to drive and also found our place in the school. We started solidifying friendships and bonds, and we were finally well-versed high school students. Junior year tested our will pack and our bats like no other. You think I'm joking, but the A-Push book was at least 10 pounds. Shout out to Mr. Baldwin. But we were finally on the downward slope of our high school career. We saw things that we worked hard for come to life. We finally started asking ourselves the big questions. What do I want to do? Who do I want to be? And what do I want out of life? And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for the past 13 years, senior year. Now, to address the elephant in the room, this year has been pretty unconventional. We have been plagued by a deadly disease that has touched nearly everyone in this graduating class. No, I'm not talking about COVID, but a much more lethal disease, senioritis. It makes fools of us all, from pulling all-nighters to finish college applications to waiting till the last minute to write your valedictorian speech. Everyone falls victim to it at some point. However, in all seriousness, COVID has impacted everyone. I never thought that leaving school in March of 2020, I would be saying goodbye to my junior year. As fall rolled around, we didn't know what to expect. We'd heard of many schools not opening up, and we grappled with the idea of losing our senior year. Luckily, with the grace of God and Team Marsh, tonight we are able to celebrate a momentous occasion. Although I don't have the cure for COVID, tonight we can say we are all survivors of senioritis. The class of 21 has accomplished a lot in the past 4 years, but it pales in comparison to what we have yet to do in the future. Among us, we have some of the most driven and ambitious people I know, who I'm certain will make an impact on the world. There are some of us who have our lives planned out to a T, people who, out of the womb, knew exactly what they wanted to do. And then there are those of us who have no idea what is beyond the horizon. So far this year, I can easily say I've changed my career at least twice a week. At first, I wanted to be a farmer, then an engineer, and at one point, Matthew McConaughey's assistant. Side note, I invited him to graduation, but unfortunately he has failed to RSVP. But keep your eyes peeled anyway. All right. Jokes aside, I have faith that I and everyone else in our graduating class will eventually find our passions and live our dreams. Now that I'm up here, I ask myself, was it all worth it? The truth is, no. It's not the medals or trophies or the crowns or cords that make high school worth it. It's the relationships you build and the connections you carry for the rest of your life that make this journey worthwhile. Before I go, I'd like to shout out a few places and people that contributed to my journey here. Thank you to the art room for being my second home for the past 4 years, and to Miss Briscoe for teaching me that it is, in fact, possible to cry and blend a charcoal drawing at the same time. Thank you to the soccer program for teaching me to be resourceful and to learn rain dances on days we had to run hills. Thank you to Stuco for teaching me to not litter. Speaking of which, please be mindful of what you leave behind at a football stadium, because some poor underclassmen will have to pick it up afterwards. I'm running out of time now, so I'm going to have to give shout-outs Oscar style. Thank you, Miss Manning, to listening to my conspiracy theories. Thank you to the Straughns for putting up with me changing my career every day. Thank you to George Strait for teaching me that Arizona does not have a coastline. Oceanfront property is a 10 out of 10. Shout out to the BIM squad, the AP Art Girls, the Rat Pack, and the Pox. You know who you are. Also, thank you to Delaney, Alex, and Ms. Harris for listening to the speech 50 times before tonight. And most of all, thank you to my friends and family for supporting me in everything I do and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. Mom, Dad, Om, and Pranjal, I love you. Congratulations, class of 2021. We finally did it.
Senior class, please stand. Mr. Purtle, by the authority vested in me as principal of Pleasant Grove High School, I certify this class has completed the requirements as set forth by the Board of Trustees. I now present the senior class of 2021.
No, sir, they take turns. They take turns. With the exception of the first row, seniors, please be seated. Destiny Osewe, Abulaman. Ethan Whitley Addington. Tucker Thomas Anderson. Matthew Joshua Angier. Matthew Blaine Armstrong. Matthew Douglas Ash. Shanze Aslam. Dakota Ray Othmal. Alyssa Renee Avard. Brandon Awa. Caitlin Brooke Batts. Emma Grace Beck. Quinn Ryan Bingham. Reed Thompson Bingham. Kira Elaine Bishop. Co Nicholas Blaine. Alec David Bolster. Katie Grace Bowman. Austin James Bradley. Samuel Farron Bradshaw. Robert J. Branch. Landry Ray Ann Bruner. Robert Reed Buck. Kaylee Emile Burnside. Marcus Dwayne Burris, Jr. Mason Brandon Burrow. McDougal Mark Capps. Brett Russell Carmody. Amaje Jamar Carter. Jackson John Thomas Cartwright. Walter Greg Coker. Gwendolyn K. Crabtree. Connor Anderson Damron. Abby Gail Davidson. Cameron Nicole Dennis. Whitney Lynn Derrick. Caitlin Nicole Dyer. Lucas Dale Edwards. William Blake Estes. Madison Kate Etheridge. Catherine Ann Ferguson. Abby Mackenzie Flournoy. Tyler Allen Foreman. Richard Bladen Forms. Ryan Caden Franklin. Caitlin Nicole Freeman. Christian Ramon Garcia. Claire Marie Gibson. Ashlyn Elizabeth Gonzalez. Connor Alexander Graves. Ashlyn Mackenzie Gray. Sean Wesley Green. Cade Matthew Hack. Patience Victoria Hack. Chad Michael Hayden.